Okay, well, welcome back to Thought Bubble Podcast with us.
This is the producer and Anthony.
Yep. And, again, I better get in.
So, I'd just like to start off today by saying that, well, I finally got my TV. And even though I was going to get it on my birthday week, I decided to push it off a couple weeks because I had a loan coming out, of course, between my birthday and payday. So I had that going on, and then I just wanted to save it because I thought I was going to get my bike back really soon. So then this week I was like, well, I'm not expecting anything. I don't have to pay anything. I still have my bonus in my checking account. Fuck it. I'll just buy it. So I looked online. I went to Best Buy. I found a Vizio V-Series smart TV, a 50-inch that I wanted for $299.
I was going to ask you how big it was. Okay.
Yeah, $299. I paid $320 after tax. They had a free day on there where I could get it, with no shipping fee. Well, I picked that day, which was Sunday, and they had a $5 charge for today to send it today, but it came today. So I basically got the no shipping and got it a whole day earlier, or really 2 days earlier.
Yeah, no shipping and a day sooner.
And so my first message said, oh, it'll be here at 9 p.m. I said, okay, cool. And then by 1:15, boom, it was there. And I'm like, yes, I can open it today. I can finally have a fucking TV I haven't had in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh my God. I can't wait for my sister to come over and I just go, to turn up the,
Well, yeah, you were saying she always blasts her volume and then you ask her to turn it down. I was like, yeah, from now on, you turn yours up because you know your new TV is going to kick the shit out of her old TV.
Yeah.
So now you do it, and if she's like, turn it down, just turn it down, click, just one.
Yep.
You're like, and then she'll be like, wait, turn it down. You're like, I did.
Well, hey, my door locks now, so I could lock it,
right.
crank up the volume. She's banging on the door.
Yeah.
What was that? I can't hear it. What?
Sorry,
I thought that was the show. I'm watching Gunfight. Sorry.
Learn to town? What?
Let me in.
So, yeah, just to follow up on what we were talking about last week, we did end up going out. We ended up choosing to go to a bar. It's the only one I've been to in Indiana that has seen life in it. Fun.
Yeah.
And it was it was Saturday, so it was perfect.
We went there for my last birthday when I was 24, or when I turned 24.
I didn't go with you.
Or wait. It was either 24 or 23.
No, they were talking about before, yeah.
Yeah, it was I think I was 24. We all went. It was you.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, because Zach was still here. Because you went, Zach went. Michael, I think he was there. Yeah, it was Michael. John couldn't go, but then we ended up having one other person, and then I think Jacob might have gone. I don't know. It was one of us. It was.
But go on.
But we went over there, and we ended up. I guess everyone kind of split up. We all had fun. I made friends with people who bought me a beer on my birthday. But he was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then he goes, okay, if you tell me the name of this, to answer this trivia question, I'll get you a free beer. So I knew the answer. I told it to him, and I was actually close. And the guy was like, you know what? It's your birthday. I'll still get you a beer anyway.
So that's one thing that I wanted to do, I still want to find, is trivia night. Because I've always wanted to do that. And we looked, but there was really nothing going on at the time. But anyway, so we go out, and I haven't been, like I said, I haven't chosen to go out in a very long time.
Sorry.
What did the desk do to you?
I'm not used to desks.
All right, what?
I've got a fucking freestanding table that I use at my mom's house in my room, and it's like I have my desk at my dad's, but even still, I'm not used to it because it's got the bar at the bottom. So you're basically this close, but since the laptop moves up on that desk with this chair, I'll be able to lean back as much as I want and have the laptop like this.
Yeah.
Then my hands are comfortable.
You're just finding the coziest ways to do everything.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
fuck your pain. You are lazy.
I need.
You are a professional lazy person. No, you could charge people to teach them how to be professionally lazy. You could pull it off and just be like, no, people won't even realize it. You can be lazy and people won't even know. Look at me, I'm working.
Well, like I've always said, if I become a millionaire, I'm not going to dress in fancy suits and shit. I'll wear what I want.
I'm always going to dress casual, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like dressing up though when I get the chance.
When I go out, you've seen me, I dress up quite nice. Yeah. But if I'm just going to the store with my current job.
Zach would wear his PJs when we went to the bar.
whenever we go out just to like run errands,
like sweatpants,
right?
Socks, flip flops.
Yeah,
To go out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And then remember that one.
I went out to the bar. Okay, so the first time I went out to the bar with him, I was the only one wearing actual like go out clothes. I think you saw me that day briefly before we left.
Oh, okay.
Because Finley was there, and so I was the only one really dressed up, and Finley was he was dressed more casual than I was, but they didn't really tell me the dress code. You know, I didn't know if like what just look nice or is it relaxed or whatever. And so then Zach comes out in like a full hoodie with just like with the pocket that goes all the way through.
Yeah.
He had that hoodie on. He had PJ pants, like pajama pants.
Yeah.
And he had tennis shoes, I think, because it was cold or something. But he walked out in just his pajamas and went to a bar. And I'm just like...
Yeah, that was... So, yeah, I didn't go out with you. I saw him leave with you guys. I do remember that. I didn't actually go out with him. I was going to say, I would never go out with him to a bar if he did that. That's right. That night... because I think I asked him, I remember I asked him, I said, you're going out to the bar dressed like that? And he's like, so?
No, you texted me, you texted me that, while we were in the car, because you're like, oh, I thought I saw Zach, he walked out in his pajamas, and I'm like, pajamas? Because I wasn't really paying attention, I was already pre-gaming before we were there.
It was just baffling. You're leaving? Like that?
But what happened was I turned like this, because I was where you're sitting, I'm in the front passenger, I just looked back.
Like that? Yeah.
I just looked back and I'm like, oh, he is in his pajamas. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was just, it's the weirdest concept. Like, there's no...
We get out of the
rules,
car.
No one cares.
We get out of the car and you see person dressed, ready to go out. You see person casual, and then pajama. Like you could see a spectrum.
Yeah. Well, on two different levels. Right. Yeah. There's three autistic people.
Right.
With three different levels of how do I look when I go out.
I have the least because I'm the one who looks more normal. Then you have Finley, and then Zach is like.
Oh, I'm getting cold again. I have my jacket behind me. What am I doing?
Dude, I've been getting colder easier now that I'm.
That's what I've noticed too. Yeah. Like back when I lost the weight, I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I like being cold versus being hot.
Well, see, I slept in a cold room for the first time, but in a long time. And dude, I don't know why I stopped doing it, but now I love it because it makes you go to sleep easier. It's good. It's better for your body. It forces your body to burn calories at night because you're trying to stay warm. And it can also help with pain, so you can kind of go to sleep easier. But I started doing that again, and now I play music while I go to sleep, because I used to do that when I was a baby, but it's amazing. I stopped doing that growing up because you think, okay, I'm getting too old for this. But I started doing it again, and it's like I sleep a hell of a lot better. I think maybe with my autism, I do need to do something like that I feel like now I'm getting more in touch with my inner child. Because what happened was I was a child. I kind of had to grow up.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that's interesting.
I was dealing with a bunch of shit. I was going through bouts of depression, tried to fix it with medication. Obviously, like we've had that podcast where we say, you just end up going higher up in your tolerance. I noticed that right away. I've done therapy, but therapy really isn't for me. I don't know. It's just, I realized I have to do all this stuff myself. And it's paid off. Now, ever since that night and I hit rock bottom, I'm never going to be
But see, you're not doing it yourself. You have me and like...
Well, what I mean is like...
I disagree with the therapy thing. Everyone... I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn my new phone, yeah.
I do have to get accustomed to it again, like I said. Because for a while, my previous therapist was just not the right person for me, and it was not... I'm glad we stopped continuing our meetings and stuff, so... But because of that, it's just like...
Wait, meetings? Oh, when you were doing therapy.
Right.
I don't know how to turn my phone.
I only used that at the time. I only used to...
There we go.
Specifically because the school suggested that I got therapy because of the pill thing I told you about my freshman year.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really need, but we did it because it would look better, and they would not have me expelled for so long.
See, and right there, it's like they're not even... Okay. Well.
Yeah, so it did help me through that. I didn't really need help through like what initially happened. It was more of just getting back in touch with my family because I knew they didn't trust me after that and all this stuff. But even after that passed, it was just trying to get along with my mom. And I realized I'd tell my therapist these things about my mom, and I didn't really go in more detail because I was younger. I didn't know how to pick up on it more. But now that I'm older and I found spirituality, it's been so weird. I'm actually, like, whenever I watch shows, I'm more in tune with their emotions. So, like,
Yeah, yes.
before when I was younger, I'd see a sad scene and be like, okay, whatever. Now, granted, there's some shows that still do that to me where I'm like, okay, whatever, it's not sad, doesn't affect me. And now it's like, I've been watching Scorpion, and there's been those sad scenes where, like, the sister died.
Well, yeah, spoil it for everyone. No.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, whatever. It's an
I'm
older
not telling you.
show.
Yeah, but this character died, the sister of this main character, and I was crying. I was like, well, wait, I've never had that happen before. And so I've noticed because of that, I pick shows specifically to like how I want to feel.
Yeah.
So like if I want excitement, but I want to be happy, and there's some sad scenes, like Scorpion was perfect. It was just like, okay, if I want to learn shit, I'll probably watch sci-fi and science shows.
Do you ever connect with the character because he's on the spectrum? Do they do it accurate at all? I mean, I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time.
With Walter, with him, yeah. Like...
That's the main character,
okay, so
yeah.
Do you remember when I texted you that whole paragraph?
Are we going to talk about going out or what?
Well, just real quick. So, remember when I texted you about that whole paragraph last night? Well, I was learning all that terminology from the show. I mean, I knew it already. Like, that paragraph I sent you last night on Messenger, it was about me, like...
I don't even know if I read it.
Because I'm on the spectrum, certain things...
That might be when my phone started crapping on me and I didn't read something you sent me.
It was while you were working.
Oh, I didn't even read. Oh, yeah, I didn't even read. Oh, I remember seeing that you messaged me, and then I saw the middle chunk where it says work 50 to 75%. And I was like, oh, this is something that I'm actually going to have to take seriously and read. And then I just totally forgot about it.
But your next text was like, oh, yeah, I get it. You're cooling down. I'm like,
oh, man. Oh, I think I skimmed through it. Whatever.
But,
yeah, but no, I didn't really
I've noticed, even though I'm like, I'm mild on the spectrum compared to... Just from what I've been told, and from what I've been told through my diagnosis, and I noticed even though I'm mild, I'll still have those sensory issues. Like there'll be sometimes at work, I'll get overwhelmed, maybe just because the person's yelling at me, and yes, I know how to calm them down, but let's say I wasn't.
See, I told you, I called you out on that, and you didn't even.
What I'm saying is,
I knew it.
I've been able to.
You're irritable. You're sensitive.
I just pick up. So I've been able to silence some people, but there's always that one that slips through. And I've noticed because I'm on the spectrum and that happens sometimes after the call, I completely shut down and like I have to put...
Like a disassociate?
No, not that. It's more of just I lock up. So like I'll either have to I will either have to use my timer, which more than likely happens because the person's angry. And I'll sit there and take like an actual break and
you'll
like...
take a second.
Right.
Yeah, you'll cool off. You'll recollect yourself.
Right, but even after that, like when the whole strike thing happened and I was freaking out about that. Like some things they would shut me down to the point, yes, I can keep going, but I'm a lot more shy.
Well, it's a chain reaction. That's why when I saw you in chat and you were getting pummeled by multiple, like it all started with, I saw it happen live. Something you did they didn't like. Then they had to call you and whatever, and then something else happened to you, and my guess is they were not even related. But you were already in that little bit of a panic, like, oh fuck, right. I'm screwing up.
And so
then it builds up, and then it builds, and that's why I told them directly. In a meeting, I said, or in whatever it was, I said, I told them about you. Yeah. I was like, you have to understand, he will break down. He will panic. Because I know that, because I do that too. Like, that weird fear.
So
fear just controls you all of a sudden. So you've got to...
Right. Yeah. A different situation happened. And then I was messaging a coach, even though it was something I knew, I was just double checking. And as soon as he said, you're fine. And there was a couple situations where I double checked everything. And then after that, I was like, oh wait, I'm good. What the fuck am I doing?
Sometimes I literally have to sit here out loud and say, Anthony, you're fine. You haven't done it. Because right. I will just, and that's a part of my issues. Like, I'm always doing something wrong kind of thing.
It makes sense that...
Are we going to talk about going out?
I mean, this is interesting too.
Okay.
But I was going to say it makes sense that they've said people who are ADHD and people who are on the autism spectrum, we're technically on the same spectrum.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have, because some ADHD qualities are what...
There's traits about
that
both.
People with autism share.
They're right. Different spectrums per se, but there are traits that carry over to both, yes.
Right.
If I were to have any autistic traits, what would you say I have? Like really, like me.
No, I don't really see. I see
Just
it,
ADHD.
Yeah, I see it more in Finley and Zach, because like Finley didn't even have.
Well,
to
because
tell
they're
me.
on the spectrum.
Right,
oh yeah,
right,
you
but,
could see that they're on the.
But what I'm saying
yeah.
is, he didn't have to tell me that, and I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, yep. Like looking at Zach, he is. I told him time and time again, you are exactly where I've been, Zach. Exactly where I've been, but you're still dealing with it, and you're older than me. Here's how you get over it. Here's a fucking guide to autism, and then he just goes.
No.
And doesn't even listen. And it's like, I've used these things to overcome this. Do it, and Anthony will stop yelling at you.
Yeah, right? I wonder if he ever went to the doctor for that foot fungus.
No, he didn't.
It came up at how do you know?
Because remember, the next day he didn't even go.
No, I mean since then,
probably not, because he was probably stressed out about moving out. He went to his boyfriend's house right after. He probably had ex-boyfriends. Yeah. Then he had to probably spend time at his parents' house, work himself up to actually tell them that he's leaving, or he needs to leave, or that he was technically kicked out.
Then he didn't pay rent.
Then he didn't pay rent because he thought he could get away with something.
Then he was told to come get his shit out of the house, and he kept trying to put the date off till finally we're like, no, either you do it today, or I'm just gonna throw it out.
Well, it was so weird, because it was like I wanted to wait till after February, and then it was just like
and the whole time we were trying to like fit it to your schedule, like planning. Because I remember initially, you thought, oh, that could be cool. Like it was more of a hypothetical, and then it became a possibility. And initially, you were like, because you weren't sure about the job, and you're like, what if I lose the job? But I could tell, like, okay, I'm not worried about that, because he's not gonna. Now the real question is, does he want to move in? I'm not worried you're gonna lose your job, because you're very good at it. But then it was like, oh, you do want to move in, and this asshat is getting kicked out. So perfect. It worked perfectly. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Going out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was talking about.
You said it was interesting. Something you were talking about. You said was interesting.
So because of my autism, and I get overwhelmed easily sometimes through different neurostimuli, because like they say sound, and sometimes visual, basically auditory and visual. Sometimes it's so.
Mine okay. If you were to say if that's truly one of the big traits of being on the spectrum, I would say my trigger is abrupt noise. In fact, before you got here today, I was kind of on autopilot. I was playing New World and watching Stargate at the same time, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was like maybe someone fired a gun in the show or something, but all of a sudden I realized, what the fuck? This is so loud. And I looked at the volume. It was only at half, but it was like, dude, this is way. And I turned it down. Like sometimes too, just like sudden noises like startle me and like it irritates me.
Right.
Like it's really.
When I was younger, I'd be in class. Let's say
it's funny because I'm the loudest person I know.
Let's say we'd be doing work in class, right? If I didn't have headphones in or anything, I'd be doing it. If someone just walked in, let's say they walked, even if someone would get up and walk to the teacher, I'd be like, and then if they walked out, I'd like just look at them. They'd walk out, leave. Let's say they came back like 5 minutes later, I would just do that. Like it just distracted me. Now it wasn't to the point to where I wasn't learning anything or they thought I had ADHD, but it was. Eventually, it's gotten to the point to where, like, since I'm not used to going out anymore, that's why I went out to a gay bar, because I knew there'd be no one potentially hitting on me. There would be.
I love your confidence. He always does this. The stories are never, I'm gonna go try to meet a girl or guy. It's always, dude, that girl was flirting with me. That girl wants me. That girl, you're so calm. No, it's fine. I mean, you do it all the time, but it's like, cool, man.
I'm saying in this.
I don't see any results, but
in this case, I didn't want to jump straight into it.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. The baby steps.
I went to a gay bar.
I dove right in, and I loved it.
I went to a gay bar with some friends because I was like, well, you know what? I'm bi, but it's like I didn't want a guy. It was just like I want a girl. I miss girls. I want to. Anyway,
can I tell my story?
Yeah, hold on. So, I went to a gay bar with some gay friends, and I just talked to people. I got used to just talking in a normal conversation, conversing with people, meeting people.
Yeah.
And then
like riding a bike, you got to
And so now that I did that, I went out with Anthony, and I was already ready. I ended up going off doing my own thing, talking to other people, you know. And so now, since I've transitioned from that, now it's just applying that to finding someone I want to date, you know, or go out on a date or whatever. But yeah, it's just I've noticed I kind of forgot everything that was going on for a while because I was depressed, and now that I'm back to where I am, I'm relearning who I was.
So one of the things that I asked my mom, and I actually just told her, this was yesterday or the day before, but I said, you know, Mom, because I've been watching a lot of Dr. Drew stuff, and he's all about addiction and behavioral shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said, like, some people can come back after, you know, a lot of alcohol. They can come back and be who they were, but a lot of people, mm-hmm. it's just, even if it's in it good or bad, it's like they might come back and be like super positive and optimistic, but that's not who they were.
Right.
They're a different person, or it could be a very negative way, or it could be a battling, you know, bad thing. But I asked my mom one day, I said, Mom, and I told her what I learned, and I said, since I've quit that fucking drinking, am I the person that you raised and that you remember? And she said, how did she word it? She said, night and day, you are the boy that I raised. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And so I told her yesterday, I said, you know, that has to be the single most significant thing you, my mother, have ever said to me that I'll remember. And she goes, I can't even compliment her. She goes, well, at least you remember something I said. And so I fought back. I was like, Mom, I remember plenty of things you tell me. What the fuck? I was trying to like tell you how important this is that I am me again. And she's like, well, at least you remember something. I know she didn't. But she always needs some credit. You know what I mean? She's that kind of person. You heard my mom talk like.
Yeah, she was. When you were trying to get that new phone, I was like, "Hurry up!"
I know, dude. You think I talk a lot? I told you.
My phone drains, especially when I'm.
I had to tell him while we were ordering this new phone, because I'm still with my family's account, so we needed her as the owner on the phone. So, but I needed to use his phone because my phone was the old one gone, dead. So it was all three of us working through the shit, and my mom, and then we're off, done with it, and my mom once again, what does she bring up? The shower curtain.
Yep, the shower curtain.
The fucking shower curtain. And we have already discussed the new shower curtain. Even he's sitting there like... And so I literally said this to her. She could hear me say this. I don't care. She doesn't care. No one apparently cares. I said, look, just get up and talk to her. All right, get up and let's start moving. Let's get out the door. Right. She's just going to keep going. So just move it. Right. I don't know how many times I have to keep warning you about that before you take it seriously.
Well, no, I know how she is. That's why I was like...
Yeah, well... I mean, yeah, there's not much you can do about it,
because, like, you were using my phone, and I was just like, okay, let's get over this.
So, let me explain. So, the point of this the title of the podcast is, you know, I want to talk about just, like, there are no rules. And in a sense, you can make your own rules, and I'm saying they can be good and bad, but I think we are the place that we live in today, everyone has their own set of rules. All this bickering and shit is so targeted specifically. So I did a social experiment when we went out to that bar. Mm-hmm. And I knew I was going to end up doing something like this. Because I don't know what it's like. Like you said, you hadn't gone out. Right. I don't know what it's like to go out to bar these days. It's been years since I wanted to go out. I have intentions. You know what I mean? So I want to meet friends. You know, what?
So, like, with the coats on the chairs, like that thing?
Hold on, let me get into it, man. Let me tell the story. It's my turn.
All right, go ahead.
So, we get in, and I was like, do you want to play pool? And there's 4 tables, and it's pretty packed. And he said, well, how are we going to get a table? And I was like, all right, watch this. So, I've always been really easy with socializing. Like, I will talk to anyone. It doesn't bother me at all. But it's been a long time, so it's a little nerve-wracking. But then once you do it, it's like, oh yeah, but it shocks other people. So I wanted to see what would happen if this random dude, me, 6'3", white dude, walking up to random people around the bar, doesn't even have a drink yet. So I went to each table and I said, listen, how often, how far, and I just asked. The thing is, people are afraid to simply ask. And then we were able to figure out which table was ready.
Yep.
We made some friends, bar friends, if you want to call it. And then, yeah.
No, I'm not even in the camera fully.
Wait, you get the other one? Yeah, there we go. Together, wait. See, I got this side. Oh, no, there you go. Bar friends. There you go. Bar friends. And I gotta tell them about my hand. But anyway, so we're, those are all slashes.
Oh gosh, you're in a cult.
Dude, it's sliced right. Oh.
We're in the cult of the tape measure.
Okay, so then comes what he said, the coats at the or the table.
Yeah.
And there's 2 chairs and 2 coats. And
right.
these people said to us, they were like, yeah, we've been eyeballing that table all night. And I was like, okay, all night? Well, then I was like, okay, hang on. So I just walked up to the table, and I politely sat, on the edge of the table so I didn't disturb or touch the coat.
Right.
And I was just I looked at him, I was like, I'm not getting beat. Everything looks okay. And then they just started, they came in. And then one guy, he just stood at the table, and he puts his beer down. And I was like, you can sit down, too. And he's just like, I just needed a place to set my drink. And it's like, dude, come on. That's not true. You already sat your beer down somewhere. There's everywhere to sit a beer down. What are you talking about? Sit down. And then finally, the people that owned the coats finally came.
Right.
And they're like, I'm sorry that we're being assholes. Now, this is what makes me funny. Or makes me funny. What makes it funny to me is I told him, you don't need to feel like an asshole. I just wanted to see what would happen if we sat down. We were waiting a while for a table. Just wanted to see what happened. And he goes, oh, okay, good. So I'm not the asshole. He's like, okay, good. It's your fault. It's like, okay, sure. But now the fun part comes when we went outside. And this is, your time is about to shine because I want to see your perspective because this is where you and I split up. So I met these 2 awesome girls. I met a lot of women, actually, a lot of nice women, older, younger.
Yeah, there was a one from that group who came over to ask this old guy for a cigarette.
I remember her, yeah.
And then I could tell she didn't want to leave because I'm sitting there. And then,
he's going to say again. She wanted him.
This is what happened. I would just sit there, just minding my own business. She's talking to the old guy. I talked to him for a little bit.
He's got that energy, man.
He went.
It's that spiritual energy.
He went inside, and then after that, I was expecting her to get up and walk back to the group, and then she sat there, and we just started talking. And then eventually she was done smoking her cigarette.
I said we'll get to your portion. Right. Man, so let me get this straight. The producer. Women want him, men want him. Women want him, men want him. He's like, yeah, they want me. They want me. She wants me. She don't want a cigarette or to socialize. She wants me. I mean, look at the shades.
I never said that.
Look at the shades. I know, you didn't say that. No, so I met those 2 girls and we, I don't know, it was just really fun, and one of them wants to be on the podcast. Her name's Rachel. And yeah, they just seemed really fun, interesting. And here's the cool part is, since they're more close to our age versus, the older people we were talking to that were probably in, their 50s, 60s even. Yeah. There were some older people there. It's nice to finally see that there are human beings in Indiana that exist around our age that are approachable, normal, not methable,
that fits.
Yeah, yeah. And so I'm really excited to have her on. I don't know. What do you want to do? Because she's thinking Saturday. I told her Saturday next week. She said, sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that later. Yeah.
Let's just keep it on the
But
schedule.
so before we go into more of the shit I wanted to cover, so yeah, you had a girl hit on you more, and then.
Well, it wasn't really like that. I mean, it was.
But what'd you guys talk about?
It was just casual conversation. I talked about. What did we talk about?
Because I've never really watched you go out before, and I kind of didn't get that chance. That's
It was.
We broke up and kind of had these fun interactions between each other. But
it was about cigarettes because she was offering to buy it, and I'm like, and I was like, well, you know what? I used to smoke cigarettes in college. I don't anymore. Now I vape, and then we were talking about how vaping was better than cigarettes, and then she was like, well, this is just my one because I'm going out. I'm like, okay. and we were just having a casual conversation. But then again, a husband did come up in the conversation, so I was just like, okay.
Oh, and I saw.
But also, to be fair, she was like way older than me. I think she was probably like 40 or 50, like late 40s.
It could be your mama.
I mean, hey, if she can
Sugar mama.
If she can support me, for sure,
yeah.
I'll just be a trophy husband. I'll go to the gym, work out, look good,
keep the house clean, take care of the kid.
Yep. Hey, I do.
Yeah.
I even. Oh wait, at that gay bar when I was talking to those girls, I even told them straight up. I was like, look, I'm a homebody. If I could find a job where I can work,
I am too.
Right. If I could find a job where I can support my family from
That's
home,
I forgot the word homebody. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I'd say great. I said if there was a way where my wife had to go to work and I stay home, I'm perfectly fine with taking
I want to
care
be a
of the
dad,
kid.
like stay-at-home dad. That's what I want to do.
Well, that's what I said.
I mean, on top
because,
of what I really want to do, but
because I love kids. Kids love me. Like I could. It's fascinating because I used to babysit when I was younger.
Me too.
And these be
I
kids.
was a au pair for years. There
would be kids who like I've never seen before. I got the job to babysit them, and like the day after, the parents would call me and be like, "Hey, can you babysit again?"
Yep.
And then when they're talking about my schedule, they go, "By the way, my son wanted you like instead of the other one," and I go, "Oh, okay, sure."
I think it's just
whatever.
because once people get to know us, they understand how easy it is to connect with us. Despite you might not like our personalities or something about us, but
also
think about it, because I've tutored for my whole life, and I've been able to connect with how they're thinking.
Right.
And that's really all it is. It's not about what you're learning. It's about how do I get you to understand it.
Right.
And then it's the same thing when you're babysitting. It's just like, how do I connect with this kid?
So I notice younger kids, they don't really want to be bossed around, but you still need to be in charge. So I just told them, I was like, look, here's my rules. Don't burn down the house. Don't do anything that makes me want to call your parents. And we're cool. I was like, that's it. And that kid opened up. We were watching his favorite shows.
Because then you're kind of watching, you're keeping an eye on him, but he thinks he's in control.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like you'd let him go pet a stray dog or you know, like, yeah.
And then he was so comfortable with me. Like, there was one day in the summer where he asked his parents,
I can't wait to buy a new webcam.
He goes, hey, can we go to the pool? And his parents were comfortable with me taking him to the pool, even though I'm not his parent, and watching him. And I was like, he's cool, yeah. And like I gave him little rules. I said, look, kids swim, the lifeguard's watching you, just be smart. And I said, during adult swim, just get out, come by, tap me on the shoulder, let me know, check in. And then obviously I'd still be looking at him, like checking in on him. But I told him that so that way if ever, let's say I was laying out just tanning or drying out and I wasn't paying attention, he would always check in. And I'd always check on him often too. But I had a system to where it was relaxed. He could do what he wanted. I'm still watching him, but we have communication. Yeah. And it worked out fine.
No one died.
Yeah, no one died. No one died. And
no fingers were lost.
And then I didn't have to be like, oh crap, the lifeguard just had to save his dumb ass. No, he was...
You didn't have to pay off the kid to hide the truth or anything,
Fuck that. No,
here's a lollipop. Shut up.
I would rather lose the job and tell the parents myself than have to pay him.
Well, sure. I mean,
but no, nothing like that ever happened.
All right. Well, let's see. So but it's interesting going out. First of all, it was really fun because I was really scared, nervous to like go out again to like try to meet people, make friends. But my system still works, is what I've proven. And you got uncomfortable because you were like, that guy, I think you're bothering him. First of all, that was your thought. You think I'm bothering him? First of all, I don't care if I'm bothering him. That's my mentality. It's a bar. You're going to bother someone. Dude, this is a room full of drunk people.
True.
You know what I mean? Irritable, drunk people. So, but my technique was, I'm going to just approach it dead on, head on, dead ass, head on. And just ask the fucking questions. Do the shit. Like, and talk to the people. Don't wait. Don't just sit around and be like, yeah, hey, Ben, see that girl over there? She's totally into me. Yeah, do Ben's way. Do Ben's way. Just sit back and say, yeah, she's totally she's into me. Wait, hang on, wait. Hey. Hang on. So
gotta get your AV.
Yeah, I gotta, get into character. I'm the producer now. Wait, hang on. Hang on. I know, hang on. All right. Yeah. That girl over there.
I don't drink vodka, so if that's how you drink vodka, then...
That's how I drink.
I take one big sip of the beer, and then I put it down. I don't go...
Yeah, haven't you ever watched me drink wine?
Okay. No, I've never seen you do that.
No, no, but
you're like, watch me drink wine.
No, but really, like, we could do your method and just say, yeah, that girl might have been into me, or it's like, go fucking talk to him. Now, here's the thing, though. I was gonna say this about those two girls I met. I knew this was gonna happen right off the bat. One of the first things one of the girls said was, "Oh, she's taken."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, no, it's cool. I understand that. You're establishing boundaries.
Right.
Luckily, that's not why I'm here. I'm not even ready for that territory yet. That scares the hell. Dude, trust. I have the biggest ever since Zach and Michael and I just choked on myself.
Choked on yourself?
On my spit.
What exactly are you doing behind the scenes? I choked on myself.
Saying if you could, wouldn't you try? Not choking on yourself per se, but no. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, and then they kind of vice versa it too. Like somehow they told me that basically they were both saying like, "Oh, we're taken."
Exactly.
And it's like, but no, but trust is such a huge. I don't know.
Did you send her a link out?
No, no, because my. Yeah, hang on. I guess before we. I know I was thinking about that, and then I was like, do I need to? I don't want to.
Because people actually jumped on right away.
Yeah, I know. I saw a little. I saw a little bit of people come through. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it before we talk more about some crazy shit. What am I doing? Oh, live. Where are we? Dude, is it? De donde? Here we go. I know I was thinking about. Okay, so and I did want to say this. Like, I do think it's interesting. The culture that we live in, we really are just all making our own rules. We don't follow any rules. That's why it's so hard to pick a political side, all that shit. Like, that's why I hate politics. I hate religion. The idea of controlled belief systems. But like in politics, and it's just people are just making everything up now. It's just like world's flat. You're stupid. Don't say the R word.
Right.
You know, snails. Don't forget snails. Snails.
You're a snail.
You're a snail.
If you're in between transitioning, you're a snail. You're taking it slow.
You're taking it slow. Doing your thing.
It's like it's like, well, I'm about to become a woman. You know, I'm almost there, but not quite. So like.
So is it like?
I'm just a snail, I guess.
I don't know.
I'm snailing my way through life.
All right, I'm just shooting this out real quick. But yeah, okay. So I'm trying to think, what else? I mean, what would you want to do if we went out again? I still think a trivia night, but it looks like we have a place to go now. You know what I mean? Like that place has hit me. Hit up Sleepers, Mr. Sleepskis, Sleeperino, Sleep-a-diddle. I don't know. I just always want to do trivia night. Francesca's tried it, and she says it's fun. I wouldn't even care if I lost. It'd be cool to, like, learn the goofy-ass trivia, you know? Just, like, the random shit where it's like, oh, so that's where that word came from. Like you said, what'd you say today? Why do we call it a body of water? I don't know. We could look it up, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh, now my mom's messaging me about the thief at Planet Fitness, and I'm like, my dad already told me.
So what is this thief? What happened? Actually jacking shit? Like, from lockers and shit?
Right. But I told her, I told my dad, I was like, I don't use a locker because they want me to get my own lock.
That's what you said.
And I was like, I don't want to spend the money on that. And
dude, gyms are a scam. Or for people that find that motivating. If they can't do it themselves, then fine.
It is a scam for those people who pay a membership and just lose interest and don't go and then forget about the membership. And they're making money. But if you actually go and do it, then it's obviously
like I said, if
money.
that's an environment that you require to work out,
because
cool.
the things I do, I need machines for certain angles that I do.
That are expensive, maybe you don't have the room for.
And plus they have more of a system to where I can hit what muscles I want. You know, because I've done a lot of research before I've started working out and knowing where to start and how to do it correctly.
Oh, you know what? Let's keep talking about the fails that I've had. So excuse me. Let's see. So yeah, my mother, wonderful woman, great woman, but she, even though we don't need a shower curtain in his new bathroom until March, has been texting me daily.
Well, really, we need to get the Ethernet thing figured out because No,
That's
because
the
I've
thing.
noticed.
It's all easy. It's like that's not
Right.
figured out. That's just like
what
your
I mean
panic
is like when is it going to be installed? Because I've noticed.
before you move in.
Okay.
Period.
Because I've noticed working here on Wi-Fi, there was one day where like all my calls were scratchy, but then when I'm jacked into the Ethernet, it's like.
Dude, worst case scenario, if for whatever reason we don't have it installed by then, I'll buy a cord and just run it.
No, I got that one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There you go. Problem solved.
Because we said we would run that from there all the way to
Yeah.
my room if we had to.
But anyway, so she's texting me every day about like, oh, can you please measure from the ceiling to the floor in the bathroom? And she's like, I want to order this shower curtain. She's very has to move, has to go, has to get things done all the time. She admitted it in front of you heard her say it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if she's had surgery, she's walking. That's her. But so finally, I was working and it's lunch, or it was almost lunch, and she messages me again, and she starts it with that little like, oh, Anthony, I finally got back with Laurel. It was so fun to catch up with her. By the way, did you check, measure, blah, 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 blah? You know, it's like, all right, you don't even need to fucking talk about, you know what I mean? And,
well, yes, Mom, I measured, but I cut my hand.
Yeah, so I took a tape measure that was apparently broken, and I measured it for her, and immediately thought, what the fuck, Mom? This is a normal bathroom. Couldn't you have just measured your bathroom? One of your bathrooms. And I even told that to her, and she goes, you know, I thought about that after this happened. Well, I'm so sorry.
Wouldn't she have the specs on the house, too, technically?
Not over in Arizona. Maybe somewhere here. I mean, you could look them up, sure.
Well, right.
But, again, that's not the point. The point is the urgency she pushed on me. I was like, fine, I'll do it on my lunch break. Let's just get it done. Then I'm trying to fix the measuring tape, and it wasn't getting back in. So I was fed up, and I went, and I reacted emotionally, which again is why you should not react emotionally. Think logically.
Yeah.
But I just flung it. But it's metal, and I was angrily. I can't even squeeze my hands.
You were gripping it.
I was gripping it angrily, and I just threw it, and it slid right through my hand. And I knew that feeling. It doesn't look bad now, but believe me, it hurts, and I cannot even close my hand all the way. Really, like my thumb doesn't even want to go anywhere. But I knew that feeling because I used to, when I was younger, I worked in food service and shit. I've sliced my thumb open a couple times, where like chunks were hanging off it, and I still didn't get stitches because I'm afraid of needles.
Now, if you think that's bad, imagine having tiny little pinholes on your finger because you have to test to get your blood strips. But over time, it builds up to where like my hands got so raw. If I were to touch anything with the pad,
isn't that why users, like drug users, don't they always have to switch where they're using because it's like?
Well, no, that's different. That's their vein collapsing because they've shot up in the same vein multiple times, or whatever. But this is like my hands would get so calloused, and you'd still have to poke the callus.
Yeah, I got you.
To the point to where
healing.
One time it went deep enough through the callus where I got the blood, but then that part was sore, and then my whole hand is, and here I am touching things or grabbing things
all the time,
and it's like, oh,
yeah.
like
when I'm typing with my pinky, like, dude, this is just a slash.
So
right
if I was
across
still doing finger sticks, that would fucking
all
hurt.
in the nice little crevasse there.
Right.
See, all because I gripped it nice and tight.
But that would hurt.
Dude, the minute I felt it, now it's got to refocus. Hello, camera. Stop being stupid. There you go. The reason I knew it happened, and I was like, okay, I just cut my hand, so I squeezed it really tight because. You know, it doesn't want to be open, so close it back up.
Right.
So it's a little less pain, but it's starting. The pain is, but I ran back into my bathroom, and then I took that picture I showed you. The blood was just like dripping all over the floor. I wrapped it up right away.
An interesting about pain.
Oh God.
Is it about pain? Is I bet as soon as you looked at your hand, you felt pain.
No, I didn't. Here's the fun part. I never looked at my hand. I knew what had happened.
Okay.
I knew that feeling. And I even started when I was in the bathroom. I felt the blood. I was like, "Yep, I cut my hand. Don't look at it." I didn't even look at it.
How they explain how the brain and the body is separate.
I'm aware.
Is you could get a cut somewhere, and let's say you didn't notice.
Have you ever noticed just scratches and cuts for no reason? You're like, when the fuck did that happen? And then all of a sudden it starts to hurt.
Right, but you'll get like a scratch or something, and then finally when you notice
it starts to hurt.
Oh, it hurts. Yeah. And then your body's like.
Yeah. Okay. So I was aware of this, and. I don't like cuts. I don't like metal or glass on flesh. I don't. That's a cut, man. That's like, you cut right through someone. You know what I mean? But no, I'm just saying, like, so I actively was like, dude, I ran in the bathroom like this. Then I started feeling the blood coming out. Of course, all my fucking paper towels are still unopened in plastic. I can't get into it with one hand. So I was like, give me a fucking black t-shirt. Found one finally, and I just weaved it in between, back and forth my fingers, and then wrapped it around and held it for about 3 hours while working. And I did not look at it until I sent you the picture of my hand. That was the first time I looked at it.
Okay.
But yeah, I bet you it totally helped with the pain. I was like, okay, Anthony, you know what this is? Go to the bathroom.
For me, I wouldn't be able to work with one hand. I'd just be like, yeah, this...
Oh, it was rough, dude. I know. I had to tell about three customers. I was like, because they're all like, oh yeah, it's a GRIF, and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm working with one hand, literally. I just had an accident, cut my hand, so do you mind, just slowing down a little bit?
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, yeah.
Well, no, but see, I'm a gamer, so I've had a lot of use in using one hand. And again, I make this argument. What about masturbation? Don't you need to learn how to use one hand to type while you're, working the internets? Working the Websters,
Working the interwebs.
So let's see. And then to add on to all this, I officially have gotten scammed. With a great twist ending, actually. You're out of frame, bruh.
I'm always out of frame.
You're always out of frame.
Like, look, you can't even see.
Just turn your chair. So I officially got scammed. I'm not really going to go into the details of how it happened. It was pretty funny, though. Very, very convincing. And it was $140.58. And the minute it happened, I was like, okay, this is either going to result in something most likely horrible.
Right.
Because I'm not that stupid, but I was kind of excited and intrigued by what they were offering. Or it's going to, end up awesome. But, it happened the way that I anticipated. And I told the person, I was like, all right, well, just so you know, I'm going to call the bank tomorrow. And,
Right.
Whatever. And so I did. I called the bank then. And the funny thing was I tried to call the bank that day, but it was like 4:59 or 4:58.
Oh, yep, they're already...
And so by the time I'd get in, I wouldn't be able to talk to fraud or anything like that. And the irony is, the next day, when I called them, the fraud dude said the same thing. He's like, well, if you called us yesterday, I'm thinking, motherfucker, I wanted to. I attempted, But anyway, so this is where it gets fun. I told this dude that I was going to talk about him on the podcast, tell him how I got scammed. It was over a PlayStation giveaway, and he pretended to be...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This YouTuber that does Everything Awesome, which is a great channel. Yeah, Everything Awesome. And
including Scam You.
Yeah, apparently his fake image, is there to show you some love. But here's the thing. I told him I would, call him out, and I know that doesn't really put any fear in it, but I'll tell you what. He sent me an emoji of, a smile. But when I got my paycheck the next day, at that point I was just like, fuck it. There's nothing I can do. The bank says there's nothing I can do, which, by the way, scares me. It means the bank's given up on trying to find new ways to say. They go, well, there's new ways that they're scamming us. Okay, well, it's your job to find new ways to protect our money.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. We can talk about banks all you want. I'm sure there's a bunch of conspiracy theories about banks. I don't give a fuck about banks either way.
There is a lot.
I mean, yeah, they definitely fuck with their us. But what the fuck was I on about? I got paid. Yeah, I got paid the next day. And then when I went to make, my bill payments and shit like that, I looked at my money, what did I make off of work? Because I was like, dude, these numbers are way too high. My bank account isn't this high. It wasn't from the bank, but I got my money back. Verbatim, 14058 back in my account. I don't know if it was. I guess I could always look it up and see how it was returned. I didn't care. I was like, I got my money back. So either the bank, did things behind the scenes, doubt that, and got my money back, or I actually did scare that guy, or did it not go through? I don't know. But I got my money back.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, because usually I've noticed with banks, if you try to send money to someone that doesn't, the system doesn't recognize, or it might be kind of odd, it might say it's subtracted out of there, but then it takes a while before it actually goes through. So like the next day.
Well, with Zelle, I don't think, because it goes through the warnings. It says, just so you know, this could be a scam.
Right.
Blah,
so,
blah.
well, then maybe he did send it back.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like, cool, I got my money back. Yeah. And then I gifted myself just to be so proud that I got my money back. I pre-ordered.
My money.
I pre-ordered your money?
No, you said muddy.
Muddy? My money?
My money back.
Show me my money. No, I pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy. I've never been a Harry Potter fan until about 2 years ago, and I watched all the movies back to back. Because, I read one of the books when I was a kid when it came out, and I was like, oh, cool, but they were too big. I'm not really a reader, you know what I mean?
Right.
I read a lot online, but, like, that's, I don't pick up a book, and I want to do audiobooks, but yeah, what the fuck? Who cares? Money. Oh, Harry Potter, yeah, Hogwarts, whatever. I can't wait. That'll be dope.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think right now, like with my current scores at work, every month I'll be getting that.
Vague about work.
Well,
the
yeah,
bonus?
the bonus. Every month I'll be getting.
We both got bonus this week. I told you
well,
that, right?
no, what I'm saying is the call criteria bonus, like the monthly bonus.
Which I can't even get yet.
Every month, as long as I keep my score where it is, it's still 98.
They need to fix that, dude.
So if that stays, I'm hoping it is. It has been. I'll be getting $300 at the end of every month.
You want to talk about money in front of people?
It was just something.
Dude,
I've noticed.
ladies love him, and he's got the Skrilla. He's single too, by the way.
Let's just say I went from being broke to actually affording shit. So it's not like
you
I'm
went
rich.
from broke and never had moved out before to fuck off. I'm moving out. I have money.
Yeah.
Buy me a TV.
Buy myself.
Buy myself a TV.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. So the scam thing. Oh. Yeah, that's what it was. I said our time going out. I went out with the let's see what happens mentality. That's what I called it. When I wrote it down, I said that was how when I went out, like, and that's how you should try it at a bar. Like,
well, no,
fuck it, let's see what happens.
That's how I was when I went out.
Yeah, it looked like you were doing fine. I wish I watched you, because I wanted to see how you interact, like, out of the world. You know what I mean?
Well, it was funny because
I was having fun in myself, I guess.
When I was playing with you guys, when we were playing pool, and it was my turn, like, they were surprised that I don't know.
Hits the 8-ball. I was
no,
killing the game.
that.
No, I was shut up. He ruined the game. We were so gonna win. I had it in the bag, and I turn around. And someone goes, "Hey, your buddy hit the 8-ball," and I was like, "No enthusiasm, no nothing. Just your buddy hit the 8-ball." And I was like,
"Well, it was time for us to hit the 8-ball."
No.
We didn't.
Oh, you hit we hit the cue ball. Sorry, you hit the cue. He meant Sorry, I meant.
So when I made the shot, it apparently went the right way, but I used enough force to where the cue ball went in too.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even expecting to make that shot. Like, I just shot it, and then I go, oh, perfect, and then it just went. I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I don't care. I always tell people, I really don't know how to describe it. I'll tell you I'm not good at pool, or I don't know. Really, the truth is, I don't know if I'm good at pool because sometimes I destroy the game. Like, I'm great.
I was really good at it when I was younger. I stopped playing for a while.
I've just been consistently inconsistent.
But if I play more often when I go out, I'll be pretty good. Like, because I would play all the time. I'd go to the Y, to the teen center, play against any age. So there were some young kids. Oh, they were so good at it. I was like, what the fuck?
I have a friend, Nick.
You know,
I think it was Nick who said this, but I think it was. But someone I know said, or asked me. They said, doesn't it always feel like you play pool better when you're drunk? And it's like I don't know. It's not like golf where you're trying to ease up and chillax. It's like, dude, you really need to aim and steady and. Right. It's geometry. You got to do a little math while you're playing pool. Well, same with golf. So why do you drink and go? Why is that more fun with golf? Didn't you say that in the car? Like,
well, the reason why I drank because my physically I'm so tight when I was trying to do golf. I was like, well, I can't really golf.
If we're gonna plug anything, once again, it's Trinity. Trinity, Delta 8, beautiful THC stuff.
Oh yeah,
legal.
There's that Delta 8 shots too.
Tell them about that.
So I went to the vape shop and I was really interested in first like these canned drinks that just had Delta 8 in them, and they had enough to where it was like a buzz from like one beer. You know, each drink was basically a buzz from one beer, the equivalent to the alcohol, but it's Delta 8. And so then they ran out of those, and I went back and he goes, well, we've got these Delta 8 shots you can try, and those are way better. And so I'm like, okay. So I took one of those, and yeah, they're pretty good. It was a good time to experience them. It was a good experience, but like, I would rather just have one of those and go out than drink.
Truly.
So like that Delta 8 shot is basically an equivalent to just having one thing, going out and having fun rather than going and buying like a bunch of fucking drinks. So those are good for, I would say.
That was too big of a hit, but that was good.
Those are good for like partying and, you know, just going out and having fun. I wouldn't necessarily take the shot every day like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't do work with that, would you?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even smoke at work, do you?
Yeah, I don't smoke at work either.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know they don't care.
I know, but the only thing I use...
Half of our staff smokes weed.
The only thing...
Actual weed.
The only thing I use at work is my nicotine, and I take those mushrooms. That's it. That's all I take. And caffeine, but, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, with those dynamic mushrooms I've been taking for months, I've noticed my recall ability for like memory has improved.
Yeah,
like
the focus mushrooms are interesting. I like them.
It's starting to come back because we even did brief research on it where, you know, I told you that it has brain cell, or the ability to regenerate brain cells.
And I even had to look it up because I didn't believe you.
Right.
But that's what studies show. That's pretty cool because the reason... Oh, man. The reason I question that is when I was in high school, in biology, we were literally told, once you lose a brain cell, that can never grow back. That is gone.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, huh? Like, I don't know. Or is it that they were telling us as children while we're still developing?
Well,
we can't. I don't know.
Back then,
I'm not a fucking doctor.
We didn't know about how the brain is so. They call it neuroplasticity, where sometimes like you can get into a terrible accident and be like, let's say, partly handicapped, and then you can do a total 180 and be fine again. Or be close to where you were.
Yeah.
So you can regenerate most of what you've lost. But what's interesting about these mushrooms is they've helped me, like, I can think smoother. I can get my ideas out the way I need to, because you notice, like, even I've noticed.
Wait, is neuroplasticity just another way of saying can bounce back?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
No, right? Okay. Is that what that literally just means?
It's funny you said bounce back because I've been watching the Gordon Ramsay big show that Finn likes, where it's like a cook-off where he...
Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so
I'm not a fan of reality.
I started watching that with Finley, and there's this one season 15, where this one guy says bounce back all the time, and so all the other people are using it whenever they fuck up, and they're like, bounce back. I'm so glad I bounced back. And you're so tired of hearing about it because that guy's still on the show, but it's still fucking hilarious. And I go,
it just becomes a thing.
I go, one day if we ever drink while we watch.
I was just gonna say, make it a drinking game.
Yeah, we just
have fun.
Listen
Good
for
luck.
Bounce Back and pick the episode where the guy just started saying it a lot. You'd be drinking all fucking night.
And make sure you add plenty of water into that, whatever you're drinking. Yeah.
And then you bounce back.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's funny. And then I wrote something here. You know, I just, like I said, I just write this shit when I'm thinking it sometimes. And so I have no idea what the fuck I was on about. It says, ask Google what the def of rule is. You kissin' pretend the diri. Oh, this is after I cut my hand, so I couldn't really type, but I had to hurry up because I was working. The diri reiki. I can say oot, but pretty sure this. Yeah, and then I wrote pretty sure this is when I sliced my hand open. Yeah. So I have no fucking clue what the fuck I was talking about. So there goes that thought.
So back to the mushrooms. I've just noticed a complete, just how I've improved on just not only focus, but just how my mind's able to work. Like, I've gotten that ability back to where I can recall past memories more frequently. And I
did notice that when
And I've noticed as long as I take the mushrooms at work, and I'm on the mushrooms.
Am I going to clarify? Can we stop calling them mushrooms? It's lion's mane.
Yeah, lion's mane. So whenever I take them at work, like the next day, if I learn something new, I absorb it more. It doesn't take me longer to. It might take me longer to incorporate it into my process, because you do a bunch of calls a day. You're so used to it that when they change up your pattern, you're like, what the fuck, you know.
That's what I keep trying to fucking say is every day is different.
Right, and so
which fucks with you.
I've noticed by taking this Lion's Mane, it's like it doesn't affect me that much. I'm able to incorporate.
See, and that's why I like the THC or the Delta 8. Is it's the same thing. It's kind of just like my anxiety, that like irritability.
It does help.
It's
with that
gone,
too.
and like if all these things are thrown at me, angry customer, I'm just talking to him. I'm like, I had one yesterday, and someone fucked up and something, and I was the cleanup crew. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was going back in, getting him scheduled the way it was supposed to be, and he was on me, and I was like, sir, yes, I'll explain why. Yes, and why do I need it? Well, let me tell you what, And
right.
like when I'm high, I guess it's just like for me, it's just like I can take all that in and I can multitask, and it's like I'm very focused on like, all right, this all needs to get done in this amount of time. Let's do it.
Right.
Yeah. So it really helps me, especially with my ADHD. I'm still wild as shit, but like
right.
I can't fix that part. But like, but it really helps me narrow it down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Like with weed, whenever I smoke Delta 8 or weed or whatever, I always do it in times where I don't have anything going on, because
for
I
you
know
it's a little different. Yeah.
because
I know pain relief.
Right. Which is the main reason, but also even having fun. Like I make sure.
Like I said, you actually get like high, like
right,
not able to work kind of high.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially
like I saw you. Remember on your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you were lit.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I didn't know you were coming over fucking high. Like you were on the couch, like, like Finn was like, oh yeah, he ate this and did this and blah, and you were just like, and I just sat there like, what the fuck what did I walk into? This is in my living room? Yeah, that was a fun day, though. Yeah, dude, we gotta get another Cards Against Humanity night going. I forgot about that.
Well,
remember we were gonna do it live, remember?
Right, it was really cool how even, like, after everyone went home and I was talking to John and Finn, everyone, immediately after they walked out of the house, they're like, yeah, I had fun. And I was like, yeah, I noticed, because...
It's because certain people aren't here anymore.
Well, yeah, because we had Zach and Michael when John was there, like, all the time. And then we had Zach and Michael when Finn was there, and then Michael was there some of the time. But
you're about to say, do you see the connection?
Right.
Yeah.
It
starts with an M, ends with fuck him.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was great, and it happened on my birthday.
It was a good day.
We were all able to be off.
We were all having fun.
But
we were all fun.
It was so great how we were able to get 4 people with completely different
days off, totally different. Well, you and I work the same,
but different schedules, and Finley managed to get Wednesday off. John was already off, and it was just like, okay.
Cool. Yep. Yeah. Life works like that sometimes. Actually, that follows what I'm about to say at the bottom here, and I strongly, strongly live by this, and I've said this my entire life, but now I've added a sentence to it that I think everyone should take very seriously. Life is chaos. I've reworded it a little bit, but life is chaos, and then you die. But enjoy every moment. And I said, and apparently we all have our own set of rules. That's it.
Yeah.
That's life.
That's not wrong.
You know?
Yeah. We all live by our own set of rules.
Fuck it. No fucking rules.
Because think about it. The only rules you've grown up with are what your parents know.
No, it's just, what I'm saying is that's a bad thing.
Right.
But that's why it's all chaos. There's no way to determine that I was going to cut my hand open, or that my phone would happen to die the day before I was off, so it was a perfect time for it to die. Or that, you know what I mean? Just shit happens. That really, there you go. Shit happens. So enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
But really, though, the whole rule thing is pissing me off. It goes into what I was going to say about Snapchat. I got rid of Snapchat. I ran that whole test, okay, let's do Snapchat the way everyone else does Snapchat. Fuck it. Again, no rules. I added, it suggests people, and it's like, add, fine. I'll add everyone. I added hundreds of people. And then all you get is just, hey, suck my titties, or, you know.
My favorite is you could be just on your phone doing something. You just get a random text that said whatever girl's name wants to add you. Added you.
I said, I'm done. I'm done with Snapchat. Me and Snapchat, no relationship. I deleted it. I'm done. It has no purpose in my life. Really, think about it.
Yeah.
How many of your friends really... You don't even use Snapchat.
I just
You
use
have it.
I see. I would get rid of it, but see, John, he got himself off Facebook after that one incident with someone. I've told you about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Doesn't he get like scammed every 3 weeks or something?
Well, he was talking to some girl, and she tried to threaten him, and then he
gets catfished like every other day.
And then he jumped off Facebook, and he's like, "I'm just not going to be on Facebook. I'll be on." Snapchat.
I would love to have him on the podcast to talk about his catfishing experiences.
No, he's too uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I didn't want to make him uncomfortable, but no, because I've never met anyone who's been actually catfished before, but not once. But how many times?
Three.
Three.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
He's a lot better with knowing these women that I know he knows right now. Like he's seen them, I've seen them, but they're still a little bit.
What if they're snails?
They're a little bit too young. Like not like young illegally, but like.
How old is he?
He is 22.
And
he's
how old are they?
I think the last girl he was out with was like maybe 17, almost 18.
He should just wait.
Yeah.
He should just no. I mean, because he's young enough to date an 18. You know what I mean? An
right.
18-year-old.
Or I mean, you could date a 17-year-old
and then wait. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
But I don't know. I hope he finds someone. I'm just gonna say that. I hope he finds someone.
But then when he told me he thought they were dating, then he's like, no, it's more of friends and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's why you're dating younger women and you're older. You can't, with especially dating that young too, with the age difference. Yeah, you're gonna want to wait. So you would be more likely being friends at first, and then eventually dating. Because unless the girl's into just screwing an older guy right off the bat, but with the age you're dating at, you need to slow things down, especially if they're younger than 18. Now, if she was 18 and you're 22, sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right. But the fact that she's under the age of 18 and you're over the age of 18, you have to ease into it.
You know what the funny... Actually,
right.
This isn't a funny thing, but like... I thought about this one... I don't know, with all the crazy shit that happened with Michael and his, slander and shit... I thought about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We talked about it in the car. I was like, yeah, would I really, if I was allowed to, like, not if I was allowed to, if I met an 18-year-old who wanted to sleep with me,
mm-hmm.
would I? And I think it's like, okay, I would never date an 18-year-old, but would you, see, you're still young, so the answer for you is definitely.
Sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me at this age, that would be a little perverse, right? Isn't that a little weird? Just have sex. I don't know. What do you think? Just so I'm about to be 35.
I mean, okay. I remember that one night when we went out, one of the girls was like, I'm actually into dating older men. And you were just like, I'm curious what age. And she said around like older 30s. Like her specific type was, even though she was...
But again, I wouldn't date an 18. That's just too mentally mature, not ready.
What I'm saying is, in their eyes, if they're okay with it, if they're into it, and you're into it,
they're consenting,
right? They're consenting, so it's fine. But if you're uncomfortable with it and they're into it, obviously.
I don't know. I feel like I guess it obviously makes me somewhat uncomfortable if I'm even questioning
you've
it.
Noticed it's different for. I love how there's kind of a double, like, not a double standard, but it's
because I feel afraid that I'd be judged for the rest of my life.
But that's what I'm saying. It's weird when you reverse the roles. If it's an older woman and a younger man, it's like, okay, cool, great, I fucked an older chick. If it's an older guy and a younger woman, it's seen as predatory. That's why. Yeah. Even though it's pretty much the same fucking thing.
It is the same fucking thing.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah. You got the cougar who might be like, I don't know.
No, you're literally just saying reverse the roles. That's
exactly.
It. Yeah, or the gender, whatever. Reverse.
Right.
And it's the same ages, but
yeah, she could be 35, and you could
boy, woman, or girl, man. Same fucking thing.
Right.
I don't know. So I guess personally, then clearly there's something blocking me to simply say, hell yeah, I'd fucking.
But men are more cautious.
Yeah, I think
in
that's
society
what it is.
because it's viewed as predatory.
Because like deep down, I'm thinking, why not? Why not? Really? Why not?
Right.
But like, yeah, then there's just that like stigma.
Because if you were 18 and this hot 40-year-old was coming on to you, you'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I'm only 35, my friend.
Well, right.
But thank you for calling me hot.
But let's say...
Oh, am I flirting with you? I'm sorry, that's right. I'm probably flirting with you,
I said if you were younger.
No, so, I'm just messing.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, if you were 18 and you saw a hot 40-year-old, you'd be like, yeah. But if it was reversed and you have an almost 40-year-old man going out with an 18-year-old girl, it's society's just like, oh yeah, that's not right. But to the other guy, they're like, hey, great, you fucked a mom, good for you. Well, yeah, I had two. But.
Yeah, it's kind of weird thinking about it now. I wonder what their mindset was. Like, think about it. It's kind of the same thing. Exactly. It's the same fucking thing. I've had sex with two women that were twice my age. I was about 23 and 24, and they were like 42 and 47.
Okay.
So so what was their state of mind? I wonder, like, oh yeah, this young boy thinks I'm just, oh yeah, let's have sex.
Maybe
probably.
Her husband can't keep up.
Oh no, they were divorced.
I'm just saying.
I would never do that.
I'm just saying, if you're.
I do not cheat, nor would I intervene in a relationship.
If you're young enough, because you had those 18-year-old boys.
Oh yes, they had kids. That's right. They're a mom, not a wife, a mom.
What I'm saying is a young teenage boy wouldn't care if the woman is married. She's fucking me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, a boy would not give a shit. That's how teachers. That's why they. It's the kids. Exactly. The kids like, oh yes, I'll see you after class, Mrs. Stevenson. Please.
I guess I'm getting my.
You're married. I don't care.
I'm getting my senior gift now.
How's your 2-year-old daughter doing? I don't give a fuck.
Fuck her afterwards. Oh, by the way, how's your daughter?
Oh man. No, there's definitely a strange.
It's a society thing. If it was different, and they said that's okay, more men, probably more older men, would be going out with younger women. But because it's seen as predatory, and because they've had that situations where that's happened, and the guy did rape the girl and all that stuff, and all that's been involved.
I have a feeling the majority of the people that already want to date younger and or older, are doing that.
Yeah.
They're not on the fence. I'm not. It's not like there's someone saying no, you can't do it.
It's giving consent.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Yep. Again, fuck the tape measure. Do not lash out emotionally. Just don't. It's just stupid. You'll regret it very much.
Yeah, I think Zach was acting emotionally during that time when we were.
Well, dude, remember all he'd do is he'd have those emotional outbursts. His manic.
But those would just
shit
be.
Would.
Those would just be a way to distract.
Oh, we have video now. We can show him what he did. Okay,
yeah.
So I was like yelling at him like, dude, I'm tired of this shit, like blah blah blah, and he goes, oh no, what was it? I said you're going to either end up living with your parents or institutionalized for the rest of your life. Right. That is going to happen. Like there is no other option for you. Maybe prison.
And then he walks upstairs.
And he goes, I don't need my parents. And I said, Zach, what are you talking about? Look around you.
You will always need your parents.
Like no, I mean no. I'm saying the situation that he put himself in means he's not even ready to get out of diapers.
No,
like metaphorically.
Right.
But anyway, so I'm telling him you need to be with family, and he goes, and then he stops, and I looked at him and I said, Zach, do you want to take that back right now, real quick? Are you sure you meant to do that? And he goes, I take it back. It's like, I take it back. Yeah, it's like, but dude, he's out of control. Like he shouldn't exist. He's not human. You know what I mean? He doesn't show any qualities or traits of a human. He's the bad end of psychopathy, where he doesn't care. There's the scary ones that don't understand why they enjoy pain and murdering and eating flesh and raping and shit. And then there's the interesting ones that do podcasts.
But what I'm saying,
Your Mom's House.
How he was.
And then there's him.
Where
he just doesn't give a shit.
How he would act, I even picked up on this eventually, but I noticed anytime we'd be in a group, I noticed not only me, but everyone else in the group, we'd be all a little bit more tired or annoyed whenever he would be with us. Yeah, we wanted him to put himself out there and actually play the game, and the times that he actually did that.
Oh, you mean when he was here?
Yeah, he would admit...
every single time.
He would admit he was having fun, and we could tell he was playing the game, but then I noticed even while he was doing that, he would just suck all the energy out of the room.
Well, that's because he'd sit there. That's why I always kicked him out and sent him upstairs. It's because, dude, I can feel it. You know what I mean? As an empath, I'm literally feeling that you don't want to be here. So I'd always stop like you said, I've done it like how many times? You said it just about every time.
Yeah, just about every time.
I would stop the game and I'd say, Zach, You can just leave now. Just go ahead. I know you don't want to be. Go away. Just go. And I'd say like, no, go. Like we were all fed up.
Exactly.
And then it ruins the game too because now we're short a player and it's like, oh my god, he just doesn't give a shit. I literally put sticky notes on every object that he interacts with to remind him stupid shit like close this door or stop overusing the dryer and heater or dryer and washer. It's raising our bill, like, and stop touching the thermostat.
Right.
Oh my god.
Or like if I did that, if you told me, hey, look, I know, hey, don't touch the thermostat as often as you are because it's messing with our bill. If I didn't know that, I'd be like, okay.
My favorite, oh, I know, I'm not going to have a problem with you. My favorite one that I left up, once I realized he doesn't give a shit and that nothing will teach him, I took down all the sticky notes. Except for one, and it was the dishes, it was on the cabinet. And it says, is this clean?
Yeah, is this clean?
In all caps. I said, is this actually clean?
Right.
Dude, you can't even, what are you thinking? Putting the white shit all, like, dude, we're not talking about like, oh, he missed the spot. No, this was just like it looks like he dumped milk on a plate, let it dehydrate and dry up, and then put it in the cabinet. It looks like someone jizzed on my fucking plates.
I wanted to change the color of the plate. I don't like blue.
I like tie-dye. That's ketchup. That's my third.
There's ketchup, mustard, pickle juice. There you go.
Oh my god, that guy's.
But he would say he cleaned it, and then I remember you walking in one day and you saw me putting a bowl away, and you go, you used my bowl? And I was like, yeah, I remember you telling me I could use your dishes, and you go, that's fine, but I've never noticed you using the dishes because they've always been put back so clean. Now what he's doing now, I used to struggle with. Like I've told you, everything he's dealing with moving out, I've told you, I've done this. But my thing is I was already cleaning dishes as a young age.
The difference is you cared to advance yourself. He does not have the ability to care.
Because I learned how to do it. I didn't care when I was younger, and then when I got older,
well, you had to teach yourself.
Right.
You wanted to grow.
Right.
He's like to me. I imagine in his mind, like, this is every time it goes. I see like a beautiful field of like dandelions, yellow, just yellow dandelion, like covering, kind of like the poppies in Wizard of Oz.
I think you're about to say Evil, because there was a scene in Evil with all those daisies, and they saw it was.
Oh, maybe, but have you not seen Wizard of Oz?
Well,
they all fall asleep in the poppies.
Right, yeah, I've seen it. It's just been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. But yeah, and Evil too. But yeah, it's kind of a symbolic normal scene. Like, oh no, but again, the symbolic normal scene is like, and then I just see him completely naked. Right. Sadly, I've seen him naked too many times. He just looks like a nasty mutated potato.
Yeah. I get the potato because he's
just like all over the place.
And also, what I've noticed with dealing with diabetes, especially with men.
But I just see him naked, frolicking, and not giving. There could be nukes going off around him. And,
what I'm saying is, men who have bigger bellies are more likely to be diabetic, especially in women. That's just
not bellies, just overweight.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that's a characteristic of it. And
I had a feeling when I was younger, I might have been pre-diabetic. I really think I hit that line at some point with the drinking and the eating. Mm-hmm. I think I might have hit because, remember I told you?
Because that's just calories.
Remember I told you that I used to have issues with my feet.
Yep.
And it freaked me out. Like they would be like tingly or whatever, but then it went away, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. We'll keep doing what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, go on.
But with
naked frolicking.
But yeah, with his body type, he does look like a mutated potato. Like it's.
You can see him doing that too. Not a care in the world, taking pictures of everyone,
But then he also doesn't care enough to where this is what bothered me. Like
and again, we're not making fun of him. He does not have the ability to care.
Here's what I thought was going to happen.
He's even established this to us.
Right. So when I didn't hang out with him that much, and I just knew he lived here, I thought he would be comfortable enough to where he'd want to move out from here somewhere. And I'd be like, hey, Zach, you want a room together? I'm glad I didn't, because otherwise, what bothered me was that day when you told me that you walked by his room and you just saw him completely butt-ass naked with his door wide open.
Here, we got video or whatever. He was literally, I don't know why, first of all.
Well, his bed's closer to the window.
So I've walked by the room, and he was doing his thing. That was one situation, already one. So I made a rule. keep your door closed. You've scarred me. Keep your door closed. And then I had that rule. That was the first rule that I established that he kept breaking.
Right.
And he'd always have that dumb smile on his face when I'd walk by the room and I just close the door.
Right.
Like, I'm not here to hang out with you. I'm here to fucking close your door, you disgusting fuck.
Exactly.
And so he's laying on his bed one day like this. Like the paint me like one of your French people. You know.
Passed out with a...
No. I think he was... Oh, he was asleep. That's right. That might have been then there must be more than 2 times.
Well, because there was one time you said where all you did was you walked by.
Remember the video?
Well, right. That was when he was knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, after he was finished with his thing. But this was, you said you walked by him. His door was wide open. He was butt-ass naked on the bed, and he was in the middle of it.
And so I saw him. I closed his door. That was the first time where I was like, okay, you never get to keep that door open again.
Right.
If you're in your room, that door stays shut. All right? You can do shit in the living room, whatever, but room, shut.
Right.
And dude, and then the whole, like, tucked in penis, micro penis. It's like, it's just a big blobby potato.
If he would lose weight, he would actually be able to see more.
Yeah.
Because so every 34 pounds a man loses, he loses just a little bit of the size of the fat sac that is located on top of your penis. So that's why when men get fatter, that sac right above your penis.
What does that have to do with seeing?
No, I'm saying...
We went from eyes to penis, all right? I just had to make sure I was connecting that.
What I'm saying is the reason why his penis looks small is because he has he's fat.
Oh, no, I know that. It's tucked in there somewhere. But
so what I'm saying is if he were to care enough to lose the weight, let's put it that way.
But it's still a micro penis.
Right, I'm saying...
It probably is a grower.
I'm saying it would be able to...
Remember I know. It's exposed. It'll be exposed. Remember when he forced himself on me to show me his penis picture fully erect?
And then he's like, wait, hold on, I need to jerk off and show you the full...
And it's Monty. Like, dude, I don't want to see your... I kept telling him to his face, I don't want to see your penis. I've already seen your penis.
You've even said that, like, he went as far as you were right next to him and he was starting to jack off in front of you to show you...
No, that was not me, my friend. I would never allow someone to do that in front of me.
Well, you said you were... You didn't, obviously...
No, I'm saying that not even remotely anything like that has ever happened. He has not whipped out his penis in front of me, except for that one goofy time when...
Well, that was...
Oh, you're saying... so I must have looked away. You're saying he then went to do it? Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah, because he wanted to show you his full thing, because...
I'm not surprised. No, but then what he did was he kept saying all night, come on, I have a picture. Let me show you. And I'm like, stop. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you need to show me your penis?
He would go as far as...
So finally I said, fuck it, show me your penis. You know what it looks like?
There was one group chat.
It looks like a flat, it's like flat. It looks like this. I mean, literally, it looks like a...
There was a Facebook...
Like flat.
I shit you not. There was a Facebook group chat where it was him and all these other people who were his friends in there, and Michael was in there, and I was in there. We were just going to use it to talk to each other. Well, one day... I'm watching TV and I just get like all these texts in the group chat. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? I hate group chats because it's like...
I know you do. That's why I leave...
If 2 people are chatting on the group chat and you're not on it, it's like... But anyway, it's doing that and I look over and I see this conversation. I had to scroll up and there was like 3 or 4 pictures of this man like posing naked and like showing his dick and all this stuff. And I'm in high school, by the way. So this could be considered child pornography at this point. Especially when you're under 18 and you're sending...
Oh, it wasn't a man. It was like...
It was him, but no one's 18, and so when kids are doing that...
It was Zach?
Yes. It was basically an equivalent to where if you were in high school and your girlfriend decided to send you a picture of her pussy...
Yeah, that's child pornography.
Right, and you're both under 18. Yep. Just for that, just for 2 people connecting.
He idiotly just... That's a perfect example of he is... walking chaos. He brings chaos wherever he goes. Wherever he goes, there is trouble. And it's never him in trouble. Right. It's everyone else.
It's always everyone else.
Everyone else is getting hit with the waves and the waves and the waves.
He thinks you're reacting to him. Like, not what am I trying to say? He views it as it's not his fault. He thinks you're just viewing him as him, and you're just addressing things that...
Yeah,
I'm trying to put it...
He doesn't take anything seriously. He doesn't have any. There's no depth to it. He doesn't care. There's
Yeah.
really nothing more to
Right.
say about why. The thing is, he just simply doesn't care. So things just happen. That's why psychopaths are so scary.
So he just,
they can do anything.
He just does things because he wants to, but he doesn't think of.
He doesn't understand.
Right.
You know,
like him
how it affects anyone else. He doesn't care.
Like him showering every morning at 5 a.m.
Well, that doesn't. See, again, that doesn't bother me.
Well,
why would that bother me?
I mean, you said.
I literally sleep to TV shows. Why would that bother me?
Well, I remember you said.
Oh, I said that the bathroom sounds like someone's being murdered because when you'll hear it when you stand in there.
Oh yeah.
It's like.
Well, I took one shower and I remember when I came back out, you go, "You showered?" I'm like, "Yeah." You were pretty quiet. I'm like,
well, then again, I asked, what the fuck was he doing in there for 40 minutes?
Because he would, yeah, I think he just moved
like water bill, like really, what do you do? Because I had a roommate, the Angry Russian, back in Berkeley, California. He would shower. So I asked him because it was easily 45 minutes, and
oh my god.
And so I asked him. I mean, it didn't matter. He had his own shower, and it was all good. But I had to know. I was like, so I gotta ask. I mean, it can't be jerking off because no man wants to jerk off for 45 minutes.
No. So you want to be like, I'm done.
You want to be done. You know what I mean? But so I said, what do? You just think or like? And he goes, honestly, that's the time I use to decompress. So you know how we decompress after work? Mm-hmm. Every morning, it's basically
he decompresses.
meditation for him.
Okay.
He actually just uses it. I can't do that. I want to get in, clean, get out, and go do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
There's some times where I will be in there for a little longer than usual, just because it's like, oh, it's nice, it feels good, whatever.
And I understand that.
Or like I said, when I was younger, I'd zone out.
Yeah.
It wasn't
when I was younger,
it wasn't like I was a teenage boy jerking off in the shower all the time. It was just
and
sometimes.
That's the thing too.
Sometimes you zone out in the shower.
That stereotype, by the way, I think is pretty false because I think every man who's tried it knows immediately.
It's dry.
Oh no, it hurts. If you're using soap while you're masturbating, oh boy, if that goes in your urethra, or like that's. And I also learned when at a very young age, like 6, I realized don't put the bar of soap in your butt. Because don't swipe it like a credit card. Do not do that. Because if it gets inside of you, it burns.
Yeah.
So no, the whole stigma of like the whole stigma.
Don't stick soap bars up your ass.
Yeah, don't stick soap bars up your ass, Mom. It might burn. Just saying. But
just use a loofah. That'll.
Yeah. Oh God! Oh, imagine scraping the inside cavity of your.
It's clean.
Yeah. Oh, very clean, very bloody though. No, I think that whole stereotype of like, oh, they're just jerking off. It's like, no, I doubt it.
You'd just be thinking, like literally. I'd start taking the shower and then I'd zone out and daydream about shit, and then come back and I'm like, check the time, and I'm like,
I did that when I was younger.
Yeah, I was like, it's been 30 minutes. Oh,
this is where I daydream now, especially at work, dude. I literally catch myself like this. Like I daydream the way that JD does in Scrubs. Mm-hmm. I just never put the two together. I will literally lose myself in a completely ridiculous situation that could not possibly happen in reality. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, the next time I have one, I'll record it or I'll send it to you. But I will just all of a sudden snap back into it and I'll be like, what the fuck was that? And then I'll get back to work. Like, right. I don't know, but it happens all the time. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, sometimes, like, I'll be watching a TV show and then I end up.
Oh, by the way, I want to talk about crying, where TV shows and crying real quick when you're done, because it's cathartic. I think it's what it is. And when people, I'll just say it now, because I'll forget again. But people say like, "Oh, you're sissy," that's whatever. All right, first of all, shut the hell up. Secondly, it feels so good. So you say you choose what you watch, based on how you're feeling.
Well, based on how I want to feel.
Sure. Yeah, that's. But I do it kind of in reverse, because I'm stuck with the empathy. I get into everything I'm watching, so I kind of feel all of it, and I'll cry. Like if they have a tear-jerking moment, oh, you better believe I'm crying. But like when you guys are here, like I don't know if you noticed, like when you guys were here and we were watching shit and it was getting sad, I'd be like this, and then I'd even say like, all right, don't look at me right now. like I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not embarrassing, but it's also like, all right, fuck it, just own up to it. I fucking cry all the time because I connect with what that feeling is supposed to portray.
Right. It's because before, when I was younger, I never picked up on that. So it might be a...
Well, yeah, and that you learn from...
Right.
On your Spectrum-y shit.
Well, right. I have to learn everything. It's not just naturally...
Spectrum-y
Here,
shit.
you're naturally born with this ability. Me,
Every
it's
time
like...
you do that, I just want to...
Me, it's like, oh, well, I'm not. I have to learn it. And so it's like when I finally get all these tools in my toolbox, like I said, I have the ability just not to do it. Like I know how to do it, and then I'm just like, I don't feel like it. Like I've told you with how I explain my batteries, my energy level. That really does affect me now, because it's your essence. It's what gives you life, and you use that energy and you put it toward things that you need to happen. So once you're out of energy, that's why it feels like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
So I wanted this actually leads perfectly into the observer's paradox. I think it's called the observer's paradox. Did I just? What did I do? I did nothing. I did nothing. Nothing happened. Okay. I did nothing. I don't know. I'm still like, I'm trying to understand it. Like, dude, holy shit, it's awesome. But essentially, I wish. See, you can't even just find like here's a dummies. I'd have to pull up a video but essentially what it's saying is just by observing something, you are changing or can change its the matter, the actual matter.
Oh yeah, because I've heard
something like that. But I had a connection with. I see again. I'm still learning about it, but it's still fascinating. But like, then I connected it to something that you and I were talking about, and I have so many notes. I can't wait to get rid of all these. Blah 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 blah. I totally. Come on, where are his U's? No. Well, anyway, go on. You were about to say something.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Found it. Oh, okay, so this is what the note says. So whatever the fuck I wrote at the moment. I said, was watching a video of someone eating a ghost pepper, and my body responded the same way as if I was eating something spicy. And I thought, yes, it's just empathy, but I realized, no, my body is also actually chemically, in this case, changing. Hence, like I was sweating, and like,
oh yeah, you were.
I was actually sweating and feeling that tingly sensation just by watching that. And it's empathy, sure, but doesn't that match the observer's paradox? But it maybe see, but I'm observing him, so that means I'm changing it. But see, I don't know. No. I don't know. So maybe not. Maybe that's not connected.
I've noticed over the years. You know how they try, like in school, they're like, oh well, who's our leaders? Who is the leader in the class? Who are the sheep in the class? Who are the followers? But they've never talked about the observers. And they've done a study on this where it says like 75% of people are followers. There's 15% leaders.
I'm an observer.
And there's like that small percentage, but not very common, of observers. Because you notice there's certain people who take control, who lead.
That's the low one?
No, the observers. Oh. That's what's odd, because we're usually just seeing leaders and followers, wolves and sheeps. But then you have this other portion of the population where there's observers, where I consider myself. I don't really.
Actually, I would say if we were to try to categorize, I would say for me, I'm in between observer leader, and you would say observer sheep.
No, I just observe.
Observe?
I can change really quick.
Okay.
I've noticed in certain situations.
Because I run this household. Right. I take control of the bar. So right. I'm definitely a leader, but I also observe. You know what I mean?
So there are times where I pick up where, yes, I need to follow, and there are times where I'm like, no, fuck you. That's why I prefer to just observe. Because I can go into any social situation, and for me, having Asperger's, it's hard to
mix in.
It's hard to pick up right away.
So you're a chameleon.
So I notice if I go in,
I have a question for you.
And I observe everything, and I see what's going on, then I'm able to react. It also comes to my playing style. When I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I'd like decks that would allow me to control.
Oh.
But from a distance, I'd let you do something, and I'd be like...
I've never thought about this before, dude. Because you're describing the observer thing and the control thing.
It was designed to where if I got picked to go first, I don't care. I just set up, whatever.
Yeah.
If I get picked to go second, as long as you don't have something that fucks me over completely...
Let's not talk specifically about Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah.
Or if it's something that you just
strategy, when it goes to strategy, you like having control.
Right, but I like to see what you're doing so I can react to it.
I like to see what you're doing. That's control.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But no, that makes perfect sense. I'm the same way, dude. If I lose, like I said, when you were trying to fiddle with your phone and the GPS was on and I need the GPS, you take that away from me, I literally will panic. Because I told you I'm geographically fucking stupid. I work by landmarks. Like, oh, yep, there's Topgolf. Oh, yep, there's IKEA. Like, I don't know where 102 is, and oh, yeah, just take 106 and bend it over to the left on a 105 and take three fucking spins around.
I used to be like that when I was on my bike, because my mom would be like, "Here's how you get to Target," and I'm like, "What?" And then I just take the GPS there, and after I do it a couple times, I'm like, I know all the landmarks, I know where things are. So I think once you get more familiar with Fishers, if you
sure, but dude, everywhere I've lived, I mean, of course it works that way. By memory, it just builds up. Right. But I'll tell you this though, even though I'm geographically challenged, I am 100% a survivor. Like, if you stripped me, I've been stripped away of everything so many times. I've gone up and down so many times, had the worst shit, the best shit, the worst shit, the best shit, and I've survived. And I just realized, like, dude, like when my phone, I was actually curious to see what happened when I woke up this morning. First of all, I forgot my phone was broken, which is a good sign. But then when I remembered, because I had it leaned on my fan, like, so the fan was blowing into it, because I was like, fuck it, you're claiming water damage, let's see if that changes, you know. But obviously I knew it wouldn't fix anything.
You should have put it in rice, but go ahead.
There was no water damage.
Well, right.
You know what I mean? Like, literally, there was no fluids ever near my phone. I just don't do that.
But what I'm saying is, if it said that.
It doesn't matter. The point is, dude, it's old. Yeah. The battery was shot.
There's water damage in the battery.
Yeah, exactly. The battery was crying, all right?
I've never taken this.
I'm so sorry, Anthony. I have to go now.
I've never taken this into the shower with me.
So my thought was, how will I respond and feel whilst knowing I do not have access to a cell phone? I do have access to, really all I had was Messenger. Thank God, because if I couldn't get a hold of you, the hell would I be doing? Walking somewhere, like asking everyone, how do I get to Verizon? I don't have GPS.
Right.
I got a car, but I don't know where I'm going. No, but so, like, how would I feel, with no phone? And to be honest, at first, I felt this anxiety, but then I kept reminding myself, dude, you turned your phone on mute since the day you started this job. When do you ever really need your phone?
Right.
Like, right now, who cares? Like, in general, do you even want, if I had a choice to not have a cell phone, if it wasn't truly so important for certain things,
right,
I'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see that. You know what I mean? Eventually, I was playing, like I said, playing my game, watching a show,
think about
I totally forgot about it.
Nowadays, you have, like, for a while when I was younger, I never wanted to get an iPad, because I was like, it's redundant. My phone does everything my iPad does. But now that I've grown up with an iPad, actually had an iPad that I enjoy, that I've used for many years, especially the top of the line one that my dad managed to buy for me, which was great for the big, graduation gift thing. It was so weird because my thing was, I don't really want an iPad because I'm afraid I wasn't going to use it. I wasn't going to use it because I'm always on my phone at that time. And then when I got an iPad, I use my iPad more than I do my phone, honestly. And it's like, if it does everything it does, if I didn't need my phone and let's say people just contacted me when I was home like it used to be, I would just have an iPad. Literally, I'd just be like, yep, just do everything on there.
So, see, this is what our podcast is going to look like pretty soon. So look at the difference. Look at that. Just in we're not going to use a cell phone, but look how old that camera is.
Yeah.
Compared to that. I wonder if they can even... No, of course you can't, because you're looking at it in a shitty-ass fucking camera. So I picked up the Galaxy, what is it, S22.
You said S22.
Yeah. The last one I had was the S9. So, I'm excited. I don't know. I mean, they already fixed the location of the buttons. That's nice. Yeah. It's the same. I think it's the same size as the S9, which is kind of nice. But I don't really care. I'm just glad to have the phone. What's up?
Nothing. Michael's putting a little thing out for inquiries for going to the Dispo.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, let's see. It's been an hour and a half. What else you got? Because I think I'm good.
See here.
Yeah.
So,
squat shitting. What the fuck? What do you think about? It's getting bigger apparently. Okay, so I literally mean like. First of all, I think it's big in Japan, but I'm saying in America, you literally like stand on like first of all, they have squat shitters, like squat toilets, but you don't sit. you just do. I guess you do. This is the first time I've ever ever doing this.
Yeah.
But you do like this, and you just, and then.
Well, that
you can get a bidet one, or you can wipe, or
actually, really, how a human is.
And that's what they said. That's apparently
how humans are supposed to shit, which makes sense.
Sure.
Back
then,
Dr.
Drew said the same thing.
Even back then, it makes sense with cave people. They didn't have toilets. How the
sure.
But
they had leaves in the backyard.
Humans are supposed to naturally be able to squat down and take a shit.
Well, and here's the other thing.
Not sit down and have your entire body relaxed and then you shit.
Have you seen these people, speaking of what human beings are supposed to do and supposed to not do? First of all, it started with, I put a few things together. It started with a weird video that was played on one of Your Mom's House podcasts where like people are now like an exercise, which by the way is incredibly impressive, and it even looks natural in a strange, odd way, but they like work out and exercise by running on all fours. And like you can even see like in their back arch that it looks very like correct.
Oh.
And even Dr. Drew said human beings. This is where it gets weird. Human beings were never meant to stand upright. That's where back problems come in and shit like that.
Right.
So then I not only did this one video randomly pop up, and then Dr. Drew said that. Then I saw on Reddit another video of this girl on a beach going around and jumping over chairs and shit, doing that. And it's like, okay, first you're thinking, that is fucking weird.
Right.
But then you're looking at how muscular and toned they are, and like when they're moving, it's like graceful and kind of just odd.
Natural.
Yeah. So it's just like, what the fuck? This whole time were we just, I was supposed to be on, you know what I mean? I think we're evolving into standing upright, obviously.
Right. But what's happened is we've also adopted a lifestyle to where we don't have to go out and hunt and fish. Yeah. And survive.
No, exactly. I'm saying we've evolved into standing upright because of our behaviors.
Right.
We no longer we get to use these. We found ways to be like, oh, you know what? I can do this. I don't need to. I'm good.
Exactly.
So eventually, sure, we won't have back problems related to standing upright. But he said, yeah, we were never meant to do that. But
dude, there was actually a comedian who addressed on this where. He showed a diagram of how, like, he was kind of making fun of it, where he's like, well, back then, if you notice, during our evolutionary thing, or process, we never stood upright. Yes, it was gradually getting to where we stood upright, but you notice where the chain...
Like in that picture that they have, that famous diagram.
But where the chain stopped right before us, like, it's not even that close to where we're standing now. It's they're still slightly slanted. They're not completely standing up straight.
So, like, we made that active decision of just being like, fuck it, let's stand upright.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I think we're just... So we were meant to be doing what those people... I think that's what, like...
Yeah.
Like, it's because it was so unusual. Do you want to see a video real quick? Just, like...
No,
You've...
yeah.
Okay, because the way they move, it's just, like... Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. What else? What else is going on? Do you... Yeah, you don't game, you're watching Scorpion. What are you going to watch after Scorpion? Oh, yeah, what do you think? Eureka, Warehouse 13?
Probably Warehouse 13.
No, you should, if you're going to watch them, because they cross out, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're in the same universe, though. So,
well, right now I'm going through Scorpion. I'm still technically going through Frasier, but I've been taking breaks.
Oh, I hate that shit.
I've been taking breaks now. It's just like, I'll watch it for a little bit, and then be like,
it's so stale. Like, I don't... What was that Family Guy show or Family Guy joke? Peter was like, I see why they call this the smartest sitcom, and it's like I watched it and I was like, yeah, this is just kind of.
No, you know what's funny? They're making a new Frasier, but it's going to be the child, the kid Frederick, all grown up.
Dude, I only watched like 2 seasons and I was like, oh god.
But
this is so
I'm rewatching all the seasons, and I rewatched it before, but I don't know why I decided to watch it again. But now I'm taking breaks like more often throughout the time rewatching. Yeah. But there's still sometimes I'll watch it and I like it, and then there's other times where I'm like, okay, I'm done for right now. But it's just a show I really liked when I was younger, and then now that I've grown up and I have a different lens or a different viewpoint on life, it makes sense. I get the humor, and I was like, oh yeah, this is actually funny.
So I noticed that too when I stopped drinking. I noticed when I went, because like I'm rewatching Stargate, and now I'm watching Stargate and Stargate Atlantis together, so it's all chronological and shit. But I noticed, when I like started watching anything, or rewatching something, I'd be like, oh my god, so many times. Not just like every now and then. I'd be like, I never caught that. I never even made those.
So Family Guy.
Like my brain was turned back on. You know?
Family Guy. When I was younger and I watched Family Guy, I liked it. It was funny. I got some of the jokes. And now that I'm older, and like I watched it, it's like, oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Like I said about that.
Like you get a lot of the adult humor.
But I don't know. There's just something. You know what it is? No, I figured it out. I thought a lot about it actually. I know why I don't like animated anything. I'm not saying I dislike all of it. I'm just saying I will not just be like, oh fuck, I need to watch this. But it's because I cannot empathize with a fucking cartoon. That's what it is. I can't, like, I get the humor, I like stories, but I don't get that big feeling that I love from, like, watching Nathan Fillion fucking kicking ass on the streets.
I noticed with cartoons, especially for me, I noticed I could watch it and enjoy it, but at the same time, I could be on my phone texting or doing whatever and still be able to watch an animated show.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You're not sucked into it. It's not...
Right. And then with, like, Scorpion and all these other shows that have real people in, you're like, oh, this is interesting. I'm watching it.
I think there's validity in my statement. That's all. Yeah.
And so I even noticed that, like, I've noticed now where, like, when I started watching Stargate, immediately, like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes into the show, I was already on my phone doing other shit.
I hate that show, so it really, I don't care, like, if you say I didn't like it, and it's just like, okay, fine, he doesn't like that, he doesn't like that. But what bothers me, what confuses me is, of all the shows I've suggested, and you've liked or disliked, whatever, it fundamentally baffles me that a show that covers every one of your beliefs and your ideas and everything, you're just like, I was boring.
Because I told you it was old.
Yeah.
It's too old. Now, if they had a new show, like if they had...
Maybe it's because I grew up, because it... Yeah.
If it was more modern like it is today...
Maybe, what if you tried Stargate Universe? It's way newer, much grittier. It only lasted one season, so you don't have to invest too much, but it will give you a little... Fuck it, never mind, you're not going to do it anyway. Yeah,
well, we even said we would...
Oh, that's right, you said you'd agree to watch... Oh, fuck, we didn't watch an episode.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch one? No, you want to go fuck around with a TV.
Yeah, I want to go fuck around my TV.
Yeah.
I want to get it set up and blast my TV today. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Don't forget to lock your door.
Right.
And then blast the TV.
I don't think my sister's going to be here today. Maybe Monday, but...
Damn.
I'm still going to have fun with it. I'm probably going to finish that episode of Scorpion or watch an episode of Scorpion and then probably try to watch a movie.
So, yeah, to sum it up, like I said before, life is chaos, and then you die, but enjoy every fucking moment. And apparently there are no rules. There are no rules. The rules are out the window. Everyone has their own rules.
And treat yourself.
And every now and then treat yourself.
Like, that's what I'm doing with this...
Hogwarts Legacy right here, baby.
TV.
Just out of the blue. I was like, fuck yeah, let's pre-order it.
I've wanted it for 5 years. I've always worked these shitty jobs where I have no money. You know, and I see my younger brother buy his own smart TV at a young age, and I'm just like, I want that. And now that I have it, it's like, fuck yes, this is something I deserve. I've worked hard for it. I've earned it.
You earned. That was me with my VR system. I had wanted VR since the day I ever heard of VR, and I just never had the means to get it.
Yeah.
And finally, when I had just money to spend, I was like, dude, this is happening. Let's do it right. Let's talk to people. Let's check shit. And then,
that's why,
oh my god.
That's why I waited, because I was thinking about getting the TV, but then I didn't have the money yet. So then I got the money. I waited a little longer to make sure things wouldn't happen. And I'm just like, fuck it, time to get it. Yeah. Now I have it. I just got to open the damn thing.
Doesn't it feel nice? Like, I really do appreciate this, because I think this is the first time in my life where I can literally say, first of all, I have never truly been able to say, maybe when I was a little kid, I don't remember the last time I could tell you, honestly, I am happy.
Yeah.
I am truly happy. Sure, life, like I said, life is chaos, but that's why I approach it the same way I do everything. I take it grain of salt, take it calmly, slowly, patiently. Right. You know, try to understand why the situation is happening. Don't respond emotionally and slice your hand open. That's a no-no. Just saying. I mean, you can if you want to, but I highly just don't. Just don't. But what the fuck was I saying?
But yeah, just basically take life by the balls. It's unpredictable, but enjoy.
Yeah, you know
enjoy
the
ups.
what is it? What was it? The mentality I said that I had when we went to the bar. I said I called it the, yeah.
You're
Let's see
open
what
to-
happens.
yeah,
The let's see what happens mentality. So like
Right.
yeah, if you're nervous about something, but you like don't do something that's gonna hurt yourself. But if there is a possibility of something that will benefit you, Wayne Gretzky said it first. Actually, I'm sure he quoted someone. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I mean, take some risks, but be cautious. Yeah, whatever. We're just we're just spitting out life lessons now.
All right. Well, this
Yeah.
is the producer and Anthony signing off.
I'm sorry. Hold up. Where's your? Come on, dude. You're the producer. You got your fucking shit going. There you go. All right.
This is the producer and Anthony signing off.
There you go. Oh, and what is it? Smash it until you
Smash it until you relax it.
smash it.